Anyway, well, speaking of relationships, kind of, sort of, men and women and romantic connections. Um, Love is Blind. I know you don't watch that show. I know you don't
Oh,
care for it.
I don't.
Well, just to put that out there, I watch it because it's entertainment, but I just want people to really stop taking these shows to heart. 'Cause I think people take it too seriously. I'm sure some of it is real, but I'm also I'm sure a lot of it is fluff and entertainment. Like there's no way you're acting 100% normal. We're the two cameramen or multiple cameramen like this in your face. For one, for two, it's entertainment. I'm sure there's a level of production to it. I'm sure there's a level of re-recording. Like I even heard there was a couple that broke up on the show that they had to re-record their breakup. Like that's dumb. So imagine like your breakup might have been authentic, but now it's like, wait, we gotta record that, and now you gotta pretend to break up and go on camera again. Like, you know. So I just hope anybody, like I feel like a lot of younger people take these shows to heart, and then I feel like people think this is how life should be or how marriage should be. So I just think these shows are fine as long as people don't take it too seriously. But I feel like
But
a lot of them do.
everybody takes it too seriously.
Yeah, they be crashing out and crying and stuff over the show. I'm like, come on.
My question is like, because you actually enlightened me to this point, right?
Yeah.
Because reality TV to me is stupid because I think it's dangerous. I think it's a dangerous type of entertainment. But then you said to me, basically, how is this any different than like a movie with the same type of storyline?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the differentiation between that is because I think people have a better differentiation between movies and real life. So I feel like if you're going into like a movie and you're watching something, it almost seems way more like fake, or like you can discern that this isn't real, even if it's
Yeah.
depicting something that's real. I think just the way that we consume it is a little bit different. Whereas like if you're watching a reality TV show, it almost feels like you're watching like somebody on live, like IG live or
Yeah.
something like that.
Especially because they do the camera's motion sometimes to give it that real life effect.
Yeah. So like, so while I do agree with you, because that is a good point, you could
Mm-hmm.
have this exact same like Love Is Blind storyline or any reality TV show like this storyline and put it into a movie, and so it's still entertaining. Like it
Yeah.
has to be logically, because I was like, how do people get entertained by this? But when you put it from that perspective, it makes sense.
Yeah. That's how
But
I get entertained. But some people take this stuff like this is literal. Like they
yeah,
probably
like
really feel this way. They hate each other. Oh my God. Like
and
he's so this, he's so that. Like slandering, calling people by their names. I'm like,
and we talk about this all the time. It's like people don't know. People for some reason like think that entertainment is real, right?
yeah.
Because if the things that they show on TV depicted real life, it would be really boring.
Yeah.
Like real life is
Real
not
life
that.
is mundane.
It is very mundane. So that's why they
Yeah.
have to make it so dramatic and over the top, and it's entertainment. That's what makes something entertaining, is when
Yeah.
it's so like over the top, right? That's why you would pay to go see an NBA game, but you're not gonna go pay to watch people at Lifetime play
Yeah.
basketball, because it's way more over the top in the NBA. You got popcorn and music
Yeah.
and cheerleaders and all that other stuff because it's big. It's like
Yeah.
dramatic.
But
But
at its core, the actual game is boring.
yeah, the
Like
game itself is
it's
boring.
just basketball. Like
But yeah, and so yeah, it's yeah. People just have to stop looking to other people for. It's like the seeking community kind of
Yeah.
thing. And while I do get it, you should not seek community, and the community you seek should not be what you see from social media. So like
yeah.
with the Jersey Shore or the
Or
Bachelor
yeah.
or what's some other ones? The Real World or Love Is Blind.
Yeah.
What's the other one? What's the other
What
big
the one
one?
that I watch?
Love Island.
Yeah.
Like any of those kind of things. Like I get the entertainment aspect, just like I enjoy watching like
Yeah.
gangster movies,
Yeah.
which usually are depicted off of real life. But I enjoy those too. But you got to compartmentalize. Like
Yeah,
just
I
use it
don't
as
think a lot of
entertainment.
people. I don't think a lot of people separate entertainment from real life. Like, and yeah, like some of these reality shows do have real elements too, because there's still real people that are put in these situations, and they still might catch feelings. They still might have genuine conversations and still really fall for these people. But I do feel like there is an element of acting and there is an element of entertainment, because at the end of the day, this is a bag for
It's
the
a
Love Is
business.
Blind people. They're making a bag. The people on the show are making money. They're trying to grow a brand, a personal brand, so they could venture out and do other things with it. So at the end of the day, people got to see that, and I just feel like it scares me when people are so blinded. Like it's like sometimes sheep behavior. Like when I see everybody online talking about it, and like I get it, talk about it because it's entertainment. But people are like that guy Clay calling him out his name. Oh, he's a B. He's this. He's that. I'm like, damn girl, relax over a show. Like, and they still kicking it to the day. Of course, like they're still together.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he shouldn't have gone on a show about marriage in 6 weeks if he wasn't interested in getting married in 6 weeks. But
Entertainment.
it's
That was
entertainment.
probably
Like,
the
that's
script.
not a realistic thing anyway. Nobody should be getting married in 6 weeks. That's stupid. I'm sorry. That's stupid. The concept of the show is dumb to me. It is. I feel like it would have been a cool show if it didn't have that pressure that you had to get married.
I think if it didn't have that pressure,
It would be
it would just be a
it
regular.
would be a good show though to me. I think, but I think it adds. That's what it's so outlandish that it makes it
Yeah,
entertaining. Yeah,
That's because they have to force the issue.
yeah,
But people take it so seriously, and it's like, I think that you could meet somebody. It's 6 weeks, you said.
yeah. 6 weeks.
I think you could get with somebody within those 6 weeks, and then eventually develop the relationship.
Yeah.
But there's no way that
That's not enough
6
time.
weeks is enough time to
At
develop
all.
anything.
To
with
marry somebody,
anybody.
a lifelong commitment, you think 6 weeks is enough time, and that's why I think some people take that and they run with this. And now they go out into the real world and they think they can meet a man. And if you don't marry me in 6 weeks, he's a narcissist, he's manipulative, he's weak minded. He can't handle a real woman. Like that's what it is. Because you watch this show and you think that I'm supposed to be married in 6 weeks. And if a man don't give you that now, he's all these things in the book.
Yeah, even if it's
Like-
6 months, 6 months is not enough.
And not realizing where you fall, because that relationship with the AD and Clay, apparently a lot of stuff that wasn't shown was that her finances were weird. Like he was very confused about her money sources and her money management. And that's important. Like you're about to bond two people together. You could mess me up for life. Like if you marry a woman with bad finances, that could literally be your end.
Or the other way around.
And then or the other way around. And then
But
you divorce and they take
definitely-
half of it. Like
Definitely the man marrying a woman with bad
Yeah.
finances is
important.
definitely worse.
But people don't see that. They think, oh, lovey-dovey fairy tale. They're supposed to be married in 6 weeks. None of that other stuff matters. You figure it out once you're married. No.
Hopefully nobody ever said that, but
No, I think that's how people approach marriage. Like I think people, and I think is that what I wrote down? Yeah, I feel like people have a jaded view of marriage. Like I feel like a lot of people don't view marriage as like you build a strong foundation and then you marry. I think people view marriage as I meet this person. Like you should know you want to marry somebody in like a year or two. I'm like maybe, but it's like I meet this person, we bond and we vibe and we get along, we have stuff in common. We get married and we figure out each other in that marriage.
really, because
No, I feel like a lot of people view it that way. Like you build and marriage is hard. We build each other up while we're married and we learn each other while we're married.
nah,
People view it like that.
because that's like the reason why, like, that's like going to accept a job and you have no idea what the job role is.
Yeah,
'Cause-
but that's what people's thing is though. You accept a job, but then you still learn the job while you're in the job. So that's how people view marriage. You learn the person while you're in the marriage instead of learning them
Kind of, but
before.
well, I mean, you can learn within a role, but realistically, like, you should be getting a role based on your previous experience, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but not if you're entry level.
Yeah, but that's different.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's how some people view marriage.
They shouldn't view it that way.
They shouldn't, but I'm saying that's how people do. Like that's why there's so much when people hear about us being together for 9 years, it's so crazy to people because they're like 9 years without a ring. Even though people do understand we were young, we met at 17, so that's different. Like I guess if you're 25 and you date somebody for 9 years, now you're 35. Now it's kind of like all right, it shouldn't be 9 years, but it definitely shouldn't be like 1, in my opinion. It should be like 2 years minimum, I think. And we're living with that person. Because that's the other thing. People do the traditional route, they don't even live together. But I feel like you have to live together to kind of really really know somebody.
I don't even know because I didn't date as an adult, so
I know. And that's why we kind of we're not really the best sometimes with understanding how adult dating.
yeah, I
is.
didn't date as an adult, but for me, if I was putting myself in that perspective, I would actually want longer because I feel like with us, it's like it's different because we grew up together. But I feel like if I was an adult and I was dating somebody for the first time, for me, I would feel like I would almost never get enough time because I feel like I would be unpacking a lot more of that person because I wasn't there for
true.
it.
That's
For you, I know
true.
you better than you know yourself.
Yeah, because you were there for
'Cause
a
I've
lot
been
of my
there for
first. You were
everything.
literally there for like a lot of my first in life.
Like what? So
Well, you were my.
the
Okay.
so
I said kiss. Like
so-
you were my like second romantic kiss. I kissed like people at the club and stuff, but you were like my like second romantic kiss.
so you were kissing people after you met me.
Yeah, but we weren't dating yet.
Mm.
I was just being
So you just
a 17 to 18-year-old.
so you just a perpetual just make outer.
No, I just had my weird moment. I was making out with those
Mm.
random people in the parking lot. I had 6 brothers and
Before you got in the white van.
That might have been,
Yeah.
but I wasn't like that. Me and you met.
No, I know.
That was like after
I'm
that.
just messing with you.
But yeah, no, but
But-
like I get what you mean. Cause could you imagine somebody going through like let's say pretend like me and you broke up like in 2019, right? Like a 4 or 5 year relationship. Can you imagine meeting a woman like pretend you met me after a type of relationship we had in 2020? You met me in COVID. Can you imagine dating somebody who went through kind of a toxic 4 or 5 year relationship in college, traumatized, damaged,
Most people do.
and then now you have to unpack that. So like I do kind of sympathize with people who, or empathize is the right word, right? Because I never went through it. Who date as adults, because I can't imagine that. I can't, like, having to now deal with somebody who's so damaged. Like when we met, I had no relationship, so it was like I came in naive. This is what we call like roses.
What dance is that?
This is glitter and rainbows and roses, and we're just so in love. I didn't come in with no traumas, no damage, no projection. I was just like, I love it here.
And what did you leave with?
Trauma.
And that's what relationships are all about.
Yeah, but they could have been avoided.
Before you get married, make sure you hash those things out, because it's not going to be a relationship if there's not
Personally,
some of those things.
I don't think people should date until they're like 23.
Low key, I feel the same way.
I think everybody should just live their lives, be the thoughts they want to be, experiment.
I don't know about all that.
I don't think anybody should, and I know a lot of people approach life with this, but I don't think anybody should really try to get a serious romantic connection until like 23.
Yeah, I don't know about being a thought, but yeah, I think because for me, it's not the sexual part of it. For me, it's more so just learning yourself.
That's what I mean. Like you meeting somebody
But
while
more
you're
than-
still trying to get to know yourself.
But more than from the sexual standpoint, just who you are, what do you want out of life, like what's your
Yeah.
mentality on things, like really ask yourself all these different questions. And I feel like once you know yourself, then you'll be able to communicate effectively to somebody else what it is that you're looking for out of life.
And that's why a lot of our issues, we didn't know how to communicate. Because we weren't communicating with ourselves. So I didn't know what I really wanted. So how can I explain that to you if I don't know what I want?
You know what's crazy? I knew what I wanted, but I didn't want to want what I wanted.
I think that's how I felt too. It's like I knew what I wanted, but that's a good way to explain it. But it's like you know what you want, but you're still like straying away from it because you still want something else too, simultaneously.
Yeah, that's basically like what defined a lot of
Our issues.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. But yeah,
On both sides.
people should not focus on
Timelines.
timelines for
Yeah.
sure. Like it's definitely a feeling, and it shouldn't be dictated based on somebody else's feeling, and it damn sure shouldn't be dictated based on a TV show and what their timeline is. Like 6 weeks, nah. 6 months, to me, nah. Because and the older you are, to me, the longer the timeline has to be. I know people when they get older, they're like, "Oh, we don't have much time," and I understand that. But to me, there's so much more baggage and so much more life experience that I feel like you get when you're older. And for me, I'm more than comfortable in our relationship now, with that kind of stuff. But for me, if I didn't know you, I would want to know everything. Like like if you wrote down everything that's happened for you from like, let's say from now all the way back to like freshman year of college, right?
Yeah, a lot.
Let's take all of that into account, and then let's say you're just single now, and then you have somebody else coming in. Look at that whole gap of history,
like friend problems, family deaths,
and it's like,
romantic issues.
Do you explain these things get explained to the person? They probably don't for the most part, because you don't want to scare people off. So it's like this whole other thing. But the traumas will still show their face because you're still gonna be impacted by them. But you can't.
Even if you do explain stuff to people, they weren't there. So it's like there's only so much you could do explaining.
Yeah, so
and there's so much details that you miss. Like you were there for like everything. Like you,
so
you missed out on my high school years.
I saw how
that
bad it was.
Like we literally cried together. Like it was, we had a lot of.
I was a part of the bad. So I was a part of these things. So I have a different perspective. But trying to explain that to somebody else, but also like, for me, I would want to know every detail. I want to know everything, so that way I know what I'm getting into. I know how I can be better for you, and just what to expect in general. But like, people are gonna be so blindsided with the baggage, and it's just like,
and a lot of people just aren't healed, so they go into relationships inflicting more chaos and pain because they're so damaged from what they went through.
I don't know if you should go into a relationship looking for that person to heal you.
Yeah, you shouldn't. And I think lots of people, that's what they do. Like, oh, this next man, hopefully he's this type of man for me. Like, heal my wounds, be my protector. Like,
I don't know if that's a good strategy. I think you should try to heal yourself.
yeah,
Like your healing shouldn't be dictated based on somebody else. Like that has to be an internal thing because if that person now leaves you, then it's led you nowhere. But if
yeah,
you healed yourself aside from your association with that person, then I feel like you're in a better position.
yeah,
And to put it in from a business perspective, when you have a business partnership, it's two different entities coming together for one specific goal and
yeah,
they're working together, but they don't intermingle the companies. Like
yeah,
these employees will still be separate, but they're going to work together to accomplish this one goal. I feel like in a relationship, you have to do that too. You have to both individually work on everything yourself, and get to learn yourself and develop as a person, and then you come together and then you
yeah,
join those two things. But if you're expecting this person
yeah.
to
To heal you.
bring you some, like you bring themselves and then also bring extra and try to heal something that had nothing to do with them,
Yeah.
that's crazy expectations to me.
Yeah, people, like, honestly, people aren't, and this applies to both men and women. I feel like a lot of people aren't emotionally intelligent. A lot of people don't, like, these conversations that we're having. I don't think they have these conversations with their friends or with themselves. Like, you should want that, and you shouldn't expect that. But people have so much expectations in relationship, especially women. I feel like women put so much expectation onto men and what should be happening in a relationship. Like, this man should come sweep me under my feet and just heal all I've been through. Because nobody, like, doing self work is hard. And people don't want to do it because they're like that's a flaw in my opinion. Like, you have to be flawed in some way if you don't want to face your demons. Like, for me, I face all my feelings head on. I'm like, if I feel a way, like, I'm trying to heal from my, like, stuff that I've been through. So it's like I feel like a lot of people don't do that. They don't do that self work, and like you said, they either distract themselves with a man or they think that man's gonna fix them, and all they do is cause more issues for themselves. Now you just have more traumas and more life issues. And then you end up like an old bitter woman who just hates everybody, hates the world, hates all men, and it's like, or you just find an issue with every single man because one thing that he does reminds you of your ex. Oh, he's doing this like this one didn't, like, you're just like, or you might misinterpret something. Like, a guy might be doing something so minor and you're like, oh, he's doing this, I know he is because I dealt with that with this person. Like, what?
That's
And then
wild.
now that guy is scared. Now he's like, oh, this. That's why this gets into a conversation where a lot of older men, why they pursue younger women. Like, yeah, some of them are creeps, but some of them also just don't want to deal with, like, baggage, and vice versa. Older women who might pursue younger men. So it's just crazy. Like, honestly, I'm just grateful for our situation. Like, it's pros and cons, right? Because, like we just said, like, when you kind of lock down early, then you kind of don't really get, like, that chance to grow on your own. Like, I feel like we grew together, which wasn't a bad thing, but I kind of feel like, when you lock down early, like, you do kind of, like, are setting that, like, stamp for your life early. You, like, you don't really get a chance to, like, go out and, like, have other experiences, which isn't always a good thing because that could have caused the baggage, right? But it's like pros and cons because some people feel like they need that experience to at least, have it. But then on the other side of things, then you have that experience, and now you're meeting people later in life where everybody had their experiences and not everybody's damaged. So and then, like you just said, now you have to try to learn all these stories, and you don't really fully know them because you weren't there.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, like, you were there for what's people consider like the prime of their life. Like, we were there. Do it.
Yeah, I'd be too scared to try to like get the Carfax on somebody.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, you
never
probably
know.
truly don't know everything.
You'll never know.
Like, and that's scary because it's like this person could, like, I always think about some of the people that we've known and how they're not out in the world dating people, and that person probably has no clue. But we've seen it because we saw them at their probably worst times.
That's the crazy part.
Like, that's your wife was doing this and this. Like, that's your wife, but
I have a specific example I can't say, but
yeah, like,
that was bad.
Like, I know somebody who went to my high school who allegedly got a train ran on them, and she's in looking like a happy loving relationship. I'm like, that man probably would never know that she was in the forest getting back to back niggas, like, in her. Like, that's crazy, and he probably has no clue. That man has no clue. I mean, allegedly, because my friend who hated her told her. My ex friend who hated her told me this story. Because
if you found out your girl
was in the woods with a whole bunch of bums from our hometown. He's a decent looking guy, so it's crazy.
What should a man do in that situation? Like, let's say they get married and they're only like 2 years in.
Well, some men do feel like they don't care that their woman was a hoe. They feel like, okay, that was her past. Like, I don't care about your past.
The
Like,
past doesn't determine the
what
future.
did Kanye say? Like, your words into me.
Well, Kanye's sick, and we never pay
Yeah, I
attention to
know.
anything that he's saying.
But no, like some guys really don't care. Like, 'cause they
And
might
that's-
have did their dirt, and it might have been way worse.
Whatever works for you, for sure.
Whatever works for you. But some guys might
But
care.
for the one that does care,
And that's the thing. I feel like some guys care, and they tell their girls kind of like their girls kind of know that they care, but then that's why they're so kind of going back to the male validation thing. They care so much for that male attention that they kind of put aside their own morals or whatever to appease him. So you know you're that type of girl, but you're gonna pretend you weren't because you just want to keep this man. But you know there's definitely some guys who probably make like posts like, "Oh, I can never have a girl that's ran through," and they're dating a girl that was ran through. And that girl will still stay with them because even though he's literally dogging somebody like you just are happy to have a man, so you're gonna keep him, even though he's literally dogging you. But he doesn't know that he's dogging you because he don't know because you're keeping that past to yourself. Which I wouldn't want, right? Wouldn't you want a relationship where you could be honest with your man? Like if I was out in the world, I would be like, yeah, I have this many bodies. Like, yeah, I wouldn't care. But I know some girls be embarrassed by it, and that's why they keep it to themselves. It's like don't
be embarrassed by
do
it.
it.
Then why
do it? Like if you're gonna be that, then be that. Like I could respect that girl that be like, yeah, I got 15 bodies and what? Like I respect it. And they might meet a guy who don't care. Like live in your truth, but don't hide it. Cool. Like that's my thing. I would never want to be in a relationship with somebody I feel like I gotta hide things from. That's not a good relationship.
You feel like you hide things from me?
Not anymore. I feel like after me and you had that talk, I feel like we just are really like open. Yeah. I mean, I do feel like at the level of like privacy that everybody's entitled to have. But I feel like there shouldn't be any major things that you should be hiding from anybody. There shouldn't be any feelings that you have that you're hiding. There shouldn't be any dirt. There shouldn't be any, nothing that you're hiding from a person that you're in a relationship. Like I feel like you should be able to feel like you could tell anything to your partner. So I feel like if you got to if you can't even tell your partner like you're about your past, like and all the fun that you might have said that you had, like imagine imagine this. Like imagine there's a guy who has like maybe 50 bodies and a girl who has like 20. Imagine they both are just comfortable and sharing their stories, and they're just laughing about it together, like they're in a happy, loving relationship. They're like, "Damn, we was wilding in college, weren't we?" And they're just both laughing about all their stories. That seemed like a cool relationship if you're that type of person.
You know what I hate? I know most of our conversations, like we would talk about this kind of stuff anyway.
Yeah.
But I hate that I can't joke with you the way I want to.
Why?
Because they don't get it.
What are you about to say?
Because I would have just made a joke like, "Oh, that's like us." The 50s, well, yeah, obviously. But see, I can't even make jokes like
That's
that.
not us.
It's not even anywhere close.
Well,
But I can't
don't
even.
know. Never mind. But no, wait, yeah, not 50.
Let's move on.
Whoa.
Let's move on. That's it.
No, but no.
No, like we're gonna move on to the next topic. We're gonna
wait,
move.
I was going to read the rest of my notes I wrote for this. So I said, love is blind and the potential negative impact of these shows and jaded views of marriage. Not to your time in the line before. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what it said. Like,
Yeah, we're done.
no, but this is to kind of like get a full wrap of what we're saying. But yeah, I just feel like I think the best situation is to align with your partner beforehand. Because like I don't know if you probably saw it. I reposted a TikTok where somebody said this. They explained like marriage perfectly. She's like, because people always say like, oh, is marriage hard? Like, and the person was like, I think it was like Stitch's video of you're married. Like tell me is marriage hard? And people always feel like, oh, marriage is hard. Like you always hear that, right? Like marriage is hard. Like just know what you're getting yourself into. This woman said, marriage isn't hard. She said life is hard. Family members die. Like your husband loses family members. You lose family members. Finances might happen. Aging. You're aging. Just a whole bunch of stuff. The economy, stuff can happen. Job loss. She's like, friend loss. She's like, life is hard, but marriage isn't hard. She's like, stuff happens in life. And now, like, I might have to deal with you in a low point. But our marriage is easy. Because we love each other. We're friends. Like, we actually like each other. We're aligned. Life is hard, but marriage isn't hard. And I was like, damn, she broke that down perfect. I was like, exactly. This is how it should be. Like, marriage isn't hard. It should never be hard. Like, I feel like our marriage will be easy because our relationship now is easy because we built it before marriage, which I think people should do. I feel like people don't truly align. And a lot of these shows like Love is Blind, Love Island, I feel like a lot of stuff is so superficial that people don't truly align with their person. Like there's so much more than just the fairy tale lovey-dovey stuff. There's so much more than that. Like there's so much more than the good vibes and good sex and chemistry. Like this person should be your friend. Like you should be able to sit and talk to them without even touching each other. Like we're friends. Like we're friends too. Like we could sit here and talk and just vibe, And people don't have that, and that's sad. I feel bad. Like, you should be like, I feel like me and you are friends.
I feel like I don't have that either.
Did I just spin myself? I did.
I feel like I don't have that either.
Babe, if me and you weren't romantically involved, I feel we would be friends.
You know why we can't be
Oh
friends.
yeah, well, no. We had a whole conversation
We
about
had a
that. If you
whole
guys want to watch
conversation
that about female friendships, but no, but I'm saying like we're like we actually like each other. You know what I mean? And I
Do you
feel
feel like I like you?
I feel you do. I think you used to not like me, but I feel you do.
Yeah, because you're a piece of shit.
I was, but yeah. So I feel like these shows blind people to that because everybody thinks everything is all. Oh my God, baby, I love you so much. I love you, baby. Oh my God, baby, I love you. Like, no. It should be like,
Say it again.
hey, friend. But then also we can make out 5 seconds later. Like the way we be vibing, like to at the Kanye concert, the Travis concert, like doing the lyrics, like we're like we actually like each other and like the same things. We're compatible. Like we align. We both agree with things like financially we're aligned. We have the same like goals. We agree with like a lot. We already talked about stuff with kids before kids were even here about like how we would discipline them and what we wouldn't do. Like we make the jokes about the whole having our kids in the house with their girlfriends and boyfriends, but that was just us just joking. But like
That was you. No, I'm being dead serious.
they could be in the house, but they can't be alone. Like
Anyway, but we're not going down that path again.
anyway, but but that's the thing. Like people don't have these conversations. Everybody just likes to have good vibes, cuddle. I don't think people have real in-depth conversations with their partners. Like I feel like we're like before marriage. I feel like even people who are married, I don't think a lot of people reach depth in their conversations with their friends, with their families. I don't think a lot of people reach the points that we reach. And I feel like we've had, and maybe that's the college environment that helps you have those nights where you're just drunk at 4 a.m. and just talking. I don't think a lot of people have those moments. And we've had so many of those where we just talk and get to the deep roots of stuff, like our childhood, what we've been through, the stuff that makes us who we are today, why we are who we are. Like, And that's why I feel like our marriage will be easy. Life is hard, but I feel like marriage will be easy because we're partners. Like we get along. And we've been getting along. We have a good like track record of getting along for years at this point now, right? Like you think about college, those arguments every other day. Like sometimes like I'll be searching for a word and I just see like our messages from 2017 is back to back.
Speaking of which,
we haven't fought like that in years.
Probably
Since college.
I'm probably gonna delete all my messages because I was thinking, I'm like, there's no point.
There is. Just
I never need to reference them. I never want to even go back to, and not even whether it's a positive or negative thing.
Yeah, because
it's like, what am I going back to like March 17th in 2017? Like, no,
yeah,
not, like,
yeah. But yeah, like we haven't had like I would consider a bad fight in years. Like like what we used to have, like in school, right? Like I feel like we've had years of consistently like a calm relationship. Like, yeah, we might have had like our little blips here and there of like more passionate conversations, but they weren't like fights. Like,
what were some of those conversations?
I'm not gonna talk about them.
Let's talk about them.
No, we don't need to talk about them.
We do need to talk about them.
I just feel like
Let's have a therapy session in front of everyone.
Okay, I just feel like we had conversations about everything in our relationship before we moved to the next step.
What's everything?
Just everything, like all the stuff that like we've been through in our relationship and like.
What have we been through?
A lot. Would you consider what we've been through a lot?
I think.
Or was it like little situations that were big? Or was it a lot? I think it was a lot because every year it was like different things we were dealing with.
Well, one day if we ever reach 8 figures, we'll write a tell-all book.
Bruh, that'd be funny actually.
That would be fun. But
people probably be like, "Damn, why the fuck did you guys get married then?" Well, then you got married. Nah.
They'll realize everything on this podcast is cap.
It's not. I feel like it's a real.
Ain't all of my eyes I can't see.
I think we will be a true testament to life and perseverance and working for it.
All right, we're moving on.
Anyways, align with your people and stop getting married in 6 weeks and stop taking these shows to heart. Get a personality and get some discernment, please.
Yeah.